Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into a story that has really sent some shockwaves, I think it's fair to say, through legal and political circles. It's still unfolding. We're talking about the sudden firing of Maurene Comey.
Yes, a really significant development.
Absolutely. Maurene Comey, she was a highly respected federal prosecutor, Southern District of New York, SDNY, the big one.
One of the most prestigious offices, yeah.
Yeah.
Known for tackling really complex stuff. Financial crime, public corruption.
Exactly. And she handled some huge cases there, Ghislaine Maxwell, for instance. And most recently, the Diddy Combs case. Then suddenly, boom, an internal memo from the DOJ, fired. No explanation given, just gone.
Which is highly unusual.
Right. So the questions are immediate. Why now? Why her? I mean, this kind of experience, especially with major cases ongoing, it just doesn't quite add up on the surface.
No, it doesn't.
And already you hear the chatter, the criticism. Was this political?
Well, you have to ask. A dismissal like this, especially someone of Comey's stature and the complete silence on the reasoning, that immediately signals something needing a closer look. From a legal standpoint, from a political standpoint, the lack of an answer is an answer, in a way. It demands we analyze what might be going on behind the scenes.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's pull on some of the threads people are talking about. The first one, and maybe the most obvious, is the name, Comey.
Right.
She is, of course, James Comey's daughter, former FBI Director James Comey, famously fired by President Trump back in 2017.
And who has become a very, very vocal critic of Trump since then.
Exactly. And there were reports, weren't there, that Trump specifically said he didn't want a Comey working in his administration.
Yes, that was reported. And you also have the context that James Comey himself is, well, reportedly under investigation related to the whole Russia probe situation. It's complicated.
So that's family connection. How much weight does that carry in reality, do you think?
Well, in Washington, D.C., especially now when things are so polarized, a name, a connection like that, it can become its own narrative, It can sometimes overshadow the individual's actual work or merit. It's about perception, perceived loyalty, or perceived opposition. That can be a powerful force in executive decisions. Maybe even leading to sort of preemptive moves.
Okay, but it's not just the name, is it? Her actual work, the cases she handled, they put her right in the spotlight, too. Let's talk about Diddy Combs.
Yes, the sex trafficking case. She was lead prosecutor.
Right. And the verdict was, well, it was mixed. Diddy was acquitted on the really big charges, the racketeering conspiracy, the trafficking itself.
Which, just for clarity, racketeering conspiracy means, broadly, being part of an ongoing criminal enterprise, a pattern of illegal acts.
Got it. So acquitted of that, but convicted on lesser charges related to prostitution. And the reports, they suggest this outcome, this mixed verdict, was seen as, quote, disappointing inside certain political circles. But is that enough? I mean, is a disappointing result in one case, even a high-profile one, really grounds to fire a prosecutor like Comey? Or is something else going on?
That's the core question, isn't it? On its own, probably not. A single verdict rarely leads directly to a dismissal, but the politics of it, the optics, that can absolutely become a factor, maybe even a convenient justification if there are other pressures or maybe a pre-existing desire to make a change. High-profile cases always have these undercurrents, these sort of invisible political stakes. And when the result doesn't match what certain groups wanted or expected, well, that can feed narratives that have little to do with the actual legal process.
And digging through the sources, I found this other piece of timing. This is where it gets, well, really interesting, maybe even a bit suspicious to some. Her firing happens right when the Trump administration is dealing with new questions about the Jeffrey Epstein case.
Yes.
Just a quick reminder for listeners. Epstein, convicted sex offender, died by suicide in jail, 2019. Huge controversy. Recently, the administration changed course on releasing Epstein-related files they'd previously promised.
A reversal that drew a lot of criticism, even from some corners you might expect to be supportive of the administration.
Exactly. So you have Comey tied to Maxwell, tied to Diddy, and then this timing with renewed Epstein focus. Now, some would say, hold on, you're just connecting dots that aren't there. That's speculation. How do we evaluate that?
That's a very fair point. And it's crucial not to jump to conclusions based only on timing. Coincidences do happen, but it's about the confluence, the sheer number of sensitive threads converging on one person at one time. You have the family political baggage. You have her involvement in the Combs case, which clearly had political dimensions. And then her dismissal aligns with renewed heat around Epstein, a case synonymous with powerful people and, frankly, cover-ups. Taken individually, maybe you could explain each piece away. But altogether, at the same time, it makes the likelihood of pure coincidence seem, well, lower. It creates a pattern, or at least the strong appearance of one, that demands we ask harder questions. It makes you look for links, even if they aren't explicitly drawn.
So just to recap for everyone listening, we've got these layers, these questions swirling around Maurene Comey's firing. Her father, James Comey, the Trump connection, the outcome in the Sean Diddy Combs case, that disappointing verdict, and this really striking timing coinciding with new scrutiny on the Jeffrey Epstein files.
All feeding into this cloud of uncertainty.
So what has the Justice Department actually said? Is there any official reason given?
The only thing they've offered publicly is essentially no comment. They cited Article 2 of the Constitution.
Article 2. Okay, what does that mean in this context?
Article 2 lays out the president's executive powers. It's very broad. It's interpreted as giving the president the authority to appoint and, crucially, remove executive branch officers. The argument is basically that the president has this power and doesn't necessarily need to provide a specific reason or cause approved by, say, Congress. It underlines the president's direct authority over the executive branch, including the DOJ.
So basically, we don't have to tell you why.
In essence, yes. That's the implication of invoking Article 2 in this manner.
But Maurene Comey herself, she didn't leave quietly, did she? She sent a farewell message to her colleagues.
She did. A very powerful one.
She told them to keep doing their jobs without fear or favor. And then she used that line, quoting here, "Fear is the tool of a tyrant, wielded to suppress independent thought."
Wow. Yeah. That's quite a statement to make on your way out, especially under these circumstances.
What do you make of that?
Well, it's not just a standard farewell platitude, is it? Coming from her at that moment, it strongly implies she believes her dismissal wasn't just administrative. It suggests she sees it, or wants it to be seen, as an attempt to stifle independence, maybe to punish certain actions or discourage certain kinds of investigations within the Justice Department. It directly challenges the idea that this was just a routine exercise of Article 2 power. It raises profound questions about the integrity and independence of the DOJ, particularly when politics might be influencing prosecutorial decisions. It's her counter-narrative.
So for you listening, processing all of this, what does it all mean as you reflect on this deep dive? What really stands out to you? Do you look at this and think, okay, it's unusual, but maybe it is just a personnel change under Article 2? Or do you see something deeper? Do you think her father's history played a role? Was the Diddy verdict the trigger? Or is there some connection, however indirect, to the Epstein situation and the sensitivity around that?
It really highlights the challenge when official explanations are missing, doesn't it? It forces you to weigh the available evidence, the context, the timing. It's crucial, I think, to be discerning, to question the easy answers, maybe question your own initial assumptions, and try to piece together what seems most plausible based on all the threads. The lack of transparency naturally invites speculation, but by carefully connecting what we do know and understanding the potential motivations swirling around these kinds of events, you can hopefully form a more informed perspective on what might really be going on.
Absolutely. And this situation really shows how interconnected things can be. Politics, high-profile legal cases, past controversies. It's rarely simple. It's a real reminder of why it's so important to look beyond the headlines, understand the nuances, and keep asking questions. We encourage you to keep exploring, keep analyzing the stories shaping our world. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.